many people, funnily enough, in this country, I think, would agree with what you would share your passion and your anger at what the protesters were doing. And I know if somebody was blocking me from taking my daughter to school, I'd be incredibly angry. But you did still break the law, didn't you? And we can't allow that, can we?
Look, did I deserve to be punished? Absolutely. You know, it's not normal to behave in that way. But obviously, you know, I was very frustrated because, as I've said before, my son's education is so important to me, and I'm self-employed. If I don't go to work, I don't get paid, and I'm trying to do everything I can for him and keep a roof over our heads and so on. It was a difficult time. I needed to get my son to school and get to work, and they were blocking my way.
Yeah.
Do I deserve to be punished for that? Of course, for how I reacted. But do I deserve a whole 12-month driving ban? I don't think so.
No, and what's the impact going to be on what's the impact going to be on your life for that 12 months driving ban?
I can't run my business successfully the way I have been doing. You know, I drive around young people with disabilities and that, and I take them out into the community, to youth settings. I teach them life skills. I take them out to open bank accounts up and all things like that. I do so much with my job. My job's got so many different projects in it. I can't do the things that I usually would do, so my business is going to suffer.
Yeah, I do have to say, and I will probably be accused of condoning violence when I say this, but I really struggle to not wholeheartedly support you, because you sound like you're an incredibly hard-working person. I have a young daughter myself. You're just trying to get on, and it just does seem like the repercussions from what you did are disproportionate, whereas the repercussions that from the Insulate Britain people who were blocking the roads, causing lots of damage to people's lives and to property, they've barely received any repercussions.
Nothing's happened to them. You know, I just feel like it's really unfair the way I've been treated. I do. I don't think I deserve that. I've got no criminal convictions prior to this. I don't even have points on my licence. I've always been a really careful driver. For me, I'm 35. I've been driving since I was 17. I passed my test so young. I've been such a good driver all these years. And to lose my licence because I'm trying to get my son to school and go to work, it doesn't make sense to me. Do
you feel as though if the police had done their job, you wouldn't have been put in that position? You know, the police should be moving these people on. For days before, the police were dragging their feet, letting these idiots glue themselves to motorways, and people's relatives were dying in the backs of cars at some point because they couldn't get to hospital. If the police had done their job, you'd still be driving now, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And we did call them. They didn't come. The whole police force needs to be chucked in the bin at this point, because even the things they're doing, you know, strip searching underage children, things like that, I'm just disgusted in them, to be honest.
Do you think the police are like that because they're going too woke, perhaps?
Bit soft.
Soft, yeah. Yeah.
They're not soft on you, though, are they?
They're just not doing their job properly, are they? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and what went through your head when well, look, obviously you pled guilty, of course, we completely understand why you did that. When he got that driving back... No, of course. So why did you then?
Because a lovely member from the public who was there that day decided to... Well, the police must have handed them down, I'm guessing. Decided to say that they would come to court to support the police and go against me. So then they had a witness as well. I wanted to go to trial. I felt strong enough to fight it. I believe that people on the jury, normal people like me, would have understood, actually, how I felt on that day. I'm not one to back down. I am a fighter. I stand up for what I believe in, and I wanted to go to trial. Unfortunately, my solicitor said I wasn't able to do that. They wasn't willing. They wasn't prepared to do that.
Can I just ask, would you do it again?
No, of course not. I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't?
Of course not.
So what are you going to do going forward now? I mean, have you ran out of options? Are you just going to have to suck it up and say, well, I'm banned from driving, I'm going to have to face the consequences for a year and for possibly many years to come? What's your next step?
Do you know what? I'm not going to let it hold me back. I'm a positive person. I'm optimistic. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I will find another way to do what I need to do. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let it make me bitter. But I do just feel like there's been no support for me from the system. I just feel like I've really been let down.
Do you hate Insulate Britain?
No.
No.
I don't hate them, and I'm actually not against their cause. I just don't think their methods are right.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's actually kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and just when you were what do we call it? Nudging them with your car. I mean, the idea that's dangerous driving anyway. Whatever. We live in a strange world, but when you were nudging them with your car, was there a split second when you thought you might go over them?
No, because the way I had my foot on the brake firmly, I knew I wasn't hurting anyone.
Right.
And even Insulate wrote a statement to support me in court. She said that she was not hurt. She didn't have to receive any medical attention. The lady Bethany was actually on my side. She wrote a statement supporting me. She said that she didn't believe that the CPS should charge me, and she didn't want me to get charged.